Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the finals of the ESM A series. This is going to be a capture the flag finals between the Spanish team, the 88th Company Walking Death, taking on the Russian team, which I believe is KND Clan, if I'm correct. Hold on, let me see. It's the KND.Squad, excuse me, that's the Russian team. We're currently taking a look at the bracket information for the league. On top, we have KND.Squad, followed closely behind by the 88th Company. Now, essentially, the way it works so far is this is essentially the second last week before the end of the league. This is, I believe, week 19 of 20 weeks in the series. KND.Squad is currently on top, but again, it's not necessarily on top because they are tied in the point totals. That being said, the 88th Company Walking Death needs a draw or a win to come on top in the series overall. Now, the reason why this match is so pivotal is that ultimately, these teams facing off against each other will probably determine the victor, just because the point totals are so close at this point. We're just waiting for the match to begin here, as both teams are just getting slotted up. Actually, I think they might be ready, so we'll go in just a few moments. The stream is on a 5-minute delay. Thank you all for coming. This is the first event of this kind that we've been trying to do. Hopefully my mic sounds okay. It seems like my audio levels are a little bit high. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just checking out my channels for the first time, my name is MicOne. I do gameplay commentaries as well as Arma 3 shoutcasts. This is the first ever Arma 3 quote-unquote esports cast that I have done. I think it's the first one that anybody has ever done, at least in English, on YouTube Live. We're broadcasting both on YouTube and on Twitch, so be sure to pick your favorite platform to watch this stream. We're going to be giving away a little bit later in the cast, probably between game number 1 and 2, an Arma 3 Apex expansion key provided by Bohemia Interactive to the esports organization. I think the way we're going to do that is either one of two ways. One, we're going to just put the key on the screen, and the first one to gets it, gets it. And the second method is just put it on the screen, but with the last character as a question mark, unknown. And you guys can try to figure out what that last character is, provides a degree of randomness to it that you might not get with the full code. If you're in chat now, it's a little bit delayed, so I'll probably be seeing this in 5 minutes from now, but state which method you'd probably like for me to raffle that key away. Either the full key on screen or the key with the last digit missing. Let me know. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a capture the flag match. Essentially, in a 400 by 400 boxed area is where the match will be taking place, 400 meters by 400 meters. If players venture outside that area, they are going to be essentially auto-killed. And I believe there is a degree of spawn protection inside the house where both teams spawn in. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I know this is an event that is first of its kind. I'm going to be doing it solo today as well. Of course, this event is part of the ESM League. That's the Esports Masters, the only Arma 3 esports league that I know of in existence, and they are proudly supported by Bionics. I believe they are what is it, a mouse company? At least the reviews that I've seen from their MicOne caster mouse, it's generally been deemed in the top 10 mice every single year for the last few years. I haven't actually used one, but all the lists say that that mouse is one of the best. Also, ESM is sponsored by Arma Hosts. I assume they provide a hosting service for Arma 3 servers. So if you want an Arma 3 servers at what I suppose is a very reasonable price, check out armahost.com. I'm gonna let the organizers let them know that we are ready to move into game number 1. We'll see if all teams are ready. I'm going to cut the music for just a second. I just want to check out the audio levels on the stream. Stand right by. The audio levels seem okay, maybe a little bit high. I might peak out at a certain point, so I'll probably turn it down just a tad here, as it looks like we're loading up the map for the first game of the series. The 88th Company Walking Death representing Spain, taking on KND.Squad representing Russia. As we're loading up here, I'll take another brief look at that I guess bracket information. You can see that both teams are tied in wins, both teams are tied in points. Looking back at the history of games between these two teams, they've only played one match before this point, and in that matchup, I believe it was the 88th Company Walking Death that came out on top. Switching back to the in-game view, you can see our area of operations will be around the town of Gravia. The combat zone outlined by the red circle. Any units venturing outside of that line, I assume, will be auto-killed by the scripts being run in the game. I hope you guys are excited for this. I know I am. I've never actually done something like this, nor has something been done of this before in this game, but either way, here we go with game number 1 of the finals. Essentially the battle for the first place between the 88th Company Walking Death representing Spain versus the KND.Squad representing Russia. Both teams getting ready in their warm-up phase. You can check out the starting locations. I believe both teams will have a degree of spawn protection when they respawn back around this container complex. Taking an overview of the battlefield, a very urban environment. You know what, with a 5 versus 5 like this matchup is, it's going to be a fairly interesting battle in the sense that we're not exactly sure how quickly these teams will be able to find each other. Scratch that, it's going to be a 6-on-6 as both teams launch off their starting locations. And here we go with game number 1. Both teams pushing off into that center environment. We can see, I believe this is going to be the flag for that that KND team, or the 88th Company team. Both teams pushing forward into the center environment. First contact is most likely going to occur in the center. McCleary and Lord. Lord taking out McCleary. Awesome shot. Let's move into Lord right now in a first-person perspective as he pushes around that corner. There's contacts very, very close by. He's got his teammates supporting him. Taking a quick overview of the matchup, we can see the blue team, that's the 88th Company Walking Death, seems to be maintaining a large degree of map control at this point. We're going to have a close contact possibly between Jericho and Red Hammer. Let's hop on board with the Red Hammer. That's from the Russian team, KND.Squad. Just on the other side of the fence there, you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, I heard a grenade being popped, but nothing there. Did he see him? I think he did. He's going to maybe poke around the corner, and we'll see what happens. Jericho's decided to move off. If he opens that garageway door, we might have a close contact, which we do not. Take another quick overview. It seems like the blue 4, that's the 88th Company Walking Death, on that right-hand flank, has been wiped fairly consistently. There's only one unit Wargo protecting that flank. It seems like the whole momentum of the match has generally shifted with the green 4, in this case the KND.Squad from Russia, coming out on top with large degrees of map control, moving in to this 3rd minute of this matchup. Let's go ahead and take a first-hand perspective at a few of these players. We can see the kind of movement patterns of these close quarters urban environments, moving slowly, weapons up, not running, peeking and checking the corners as they go. Again, these are players that have played this game in a competitive environment for the last 19 weeks. This is week 19 of the A series. So they're used to kind of, playing against very, very good players, which both of these teams are. Taking another overhead perspective. Close quarters with Lord. Taking out Jericho. Oh, I believe that was Jericho taking out one of the KND.Squad players. McCleary is going to have units pushing his flank right now. Shots being fired. Great shots from McCleary, taking out Lord, kind of cleaning up that push from that 88th Company. Frost. And I believe that's pronounced Markety. Pushing forward. Fairly unopposed, I might add. There is 2 units on this right-hand flank. Wargo acting as that center element. Kind of holding the center. Let's see what his sightlines are like. He's not necessarily looking towards the enemy, but he does have great lines of sight on that flag cap. You can see that US flag just outside. That is his friendly flag point. The enemies are going to be trying to capture that point. Let's actually take a quick look at the other side of the map, and we can see this is the Red Force side. This is the Russian flag cap point. Saying that now as the Russians are moving very close to that center flag point. One is taking out. A center pushing up. Lord is there to counter. Flag's right there, but he gets taken out. Wow, what a great effort for that Russian KND.Squad team. Wargo, of course, playing pivotal role in that defense. Wow, that was actually another great shot by Red Hammer, taking out Lord from the second story. There's going to be another consolidated push from this Russian team. The Spaniards are pushed back to a large degree here. We can see now the blue team is respawning. The 88th Company pushing forward into their defensive positions, but will it be enough? There is a large... Actually, you know what? Never mind. I was thinking there was a lot more green for on this point than there are. Only really 2 units, Red Hammer and Laha, on this point. Red Hammer, again on that second story, looking towards that flag cap point. Very good move on his part. I mean, this is a very difficult position for the Blue Four to flush him out of. And he also has line of sight on the cap point itself. If he gets a friendly up here, he can provide a large degree of covering fire to any units that try to cap that flag. Laha is going to be in close contact on his point. He's taken refuge inside a container with only 1 entrance. He's actually taking fire from behind. I'm pretty sure that he can be killed through that small sheet metal if the 88th Company man decides to engage. Laha peeking out, but is taken out. Great shots. The push for that Russian team seems to have been stagnated a little bit. Red Hammer still holding inside this 2-story. He's got his eyes on a Blue 4 that's just peeking. Both peeks, and wow, great shots. Red Hammer taken out. Take another quick overview of the battle here, as the Blue 4 is looked to be stabilizing right now, as all their players have respawned and are fomenting another push towards that Russian flag cap point. A few more Russian team members going down right now as the Spaniards continue to push forward. There is, the KND.Squad do have 2 units in fairly good defensive positions right now, covering the approaches down this MSR and the center line. Let's go in first person. You can see him just peeking out towards that MSR. Unfortunately, there's no real units approaching through that MSR, but to the left of his current sight lines, there is a unit trying to take the flank. We thought he might see him for a moment. Apparently not. That's a very wide flank being taken by Shenko right now. It's the green 4. KND in a very good defensive position, defending their flag point. Shenko with awesome shots, taking out the unit in that second story, and he is, I want to say, he's almost home free on this flank so far. I'm not sure any units know he's here. Frost is right close by, going to be responding to those shots. I'm not sure if he knows exactly his location. Shenko is tracking. It's going to be a one-on-one around this corner. Shenko knows he's there. Frost does not. Frost might think he's a little bit further away. Shenko probably has heard the footsteps around this point. I hear more firing going on. Let's take a quick look at the center where there's a battle going on, but it's not as close to the cap point as this right here. Frost versus Shenko. Frost rounds the corner and takes out Shenko. It's a 1-for-1 kill. That was a very interesting engagement. Great reaction time by Frost, too. I believe it was Shenko that started to fire first. That flank has been neutralized for the Spaniards. The Russians in a very good defensive positions. KND.Squad holding their own against the push of that 88th Company. And doing work on this center lane, too. Possibly gearing up for another offensive push of their own. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we are broadcasting both on Twitch TV and on YouTube Live. You can check out links to either or platform in the description, as well as you can find information to the ESM website where you can learn about the rules and about the whole organization and league itself. 88th Company, Walking Death, and KND.Squad battling out for first place in this first game. McClary pushing forward. I believe this building is occupied by a Blue 4 unit. As he pushes upstairs and gets shot. Not exactly sure from where. Oh, no, that was McClary taking out a Blue 4 unit. He's now under fire on this second story. Units right below him. Battle for the stairs. McClary's caught with his pants down. Bill found him just in time. He was kind of looking where the enemy might be, not right on the stairs where he was, but Bill's taken out right afterwards by Shenko. Taking a look at the map once again, an overhead perspective here. Wow, hold on, Shenko is right at that flag point. TX is there. But Shenko grabs the flag and he's making a run for it. What a great push. This is a one-man effort at this point. He is taken out. But that, I believe, in this league provides some kind of point for that team that is able to at least grab the flag at one point in the game. So Shenko picks up the flag for his team, does go down to TX kill on in that second story building. But what a great effort for that player. The KND squad in a very commanding position so far. '88th Company respawning, ready to mount a new defensive effort. Frost doing work on that side of the building there. He is going to be flanked fairly soon by Lord, and he does. Takes him out. Great shots by him. Kind of cleans up that push. There is still more to come. The second wave, per se, McCleary and Leha pushing forward towards that CTF point. This has been a very back and forth game, but I want to say that generally KND squad seems to have been the dominant team so far. Most of the plays have been inside that 88th Company zone, and I'd say generally the KND squad has been on the offensive more often throughout this game. Lord pushing forward through that two-story. He saw his buddy just got taken out on that one-story right in front of him. Very cautious moving forward. Shots in the center. Our Red Hammer back in his patented building. Takes out a unit. He's going to be healing himself up and getting prepped to perhaps provide that Overwatch role that we've seen him do earlier in this matchup. Taking a look back towards the center. Lord taking out McCleary. Great shots on his part. Making that center lane a little bit more clear. Let's go first person with Lord as he looks outside. Bam! Taken out right outside by, that's a difficult name to pronounce. Hold on. Schlochmenberg. Oh god. Stahlmansberg? I tried. Bill under fire. He's going to be retreating, but it's taken out right before he can round that corner. Shenko is currently in a 3 versus 1 scenario. Nope, 3 versus 2 as his friendly helps him out. This church is about to become a battleground. Let's go on board with Shenko as he tries to retreat. That is not the right way to be going, unfortunately. As he may have realized that enemies are not at that location per se, but he's still being aggressive, pushing around this corner. He might be able to shoot Frost right in the back, as Frost makes an aggressive push in the open and pays the price for it. Shenko goes down right afterwards to the fire of McCleary, position in a great position, just a little bit farther away in a two-story. Back towards the flag cap point. Laha's right near it. I wonder if they know he's there. Yes, they do. He's also taken out. Marquiti pushing forward, taking a look at the blue floor. Bill is the only 88th Company member here. That frag might have been good. Bill might have just saved that flag cap for his team. McCleary is also there. Wow, great preemptive frag by that 88th Company team, taking out McCleary as he just about hits that flag cap point. Both teams, again, in a state of flux. There is, there was a big engagement that just happened in the last 2 minutes. Both teams in a state of kind of moving towards their objectives again. We can see the new dispersion by that KND squad. And again, it seems like the 88th Company, the Spaniards, are on the defensive. I'm just going to call him Berg. Berg, actually with a great shot, taking out Lord as he tries to cross that MSR position. He's now holding it down for his team in a center line here, waiting for Red Hammer to get back into his patented building to start providing cover. This is a very consolidated push by that KND squad. Red Hammer, let's all go on board with him as he's going to be coming in close contact just around this corner. If he decides to push it, here we go. And Jericho takes him out. Jericho's then taken out by Laha, so essentially a 1 versus 1 trade there. That push is still continuing on the other flank. Berg is pushing forward onto his two-story. Shenko is there, as well as Wargo for support. Lord has respawned, is pushing forward. Lord testing that cap point. Let's go on board with him. He sees that 1 versus the doorway. Great shots by him. There was actually 2 in that doorway. He wasn't able to get the second. I think he injured him, however. Great shots by Lord. He took his fire and he decided to continue on movement, not to be caught in the open. McCleary still in a very, very good position on that second story, looking towards the cap point. Bill Garner is also there. He knows that McCleary's in there. He's just waiting for them to make a push. Remains to be seen whether or not he'll do that. Red Hammer pushing forward again from his respawn. Frost as well, moving to support. McCleary perhaps getting ready to make a push here. We'll see if he decides to do it. Bill is waiting for him. You know what? If McCleary just waits a little bit longer, he knows that that is covered. And wow, great shots. That might have actually been friendly fire, perhaps. No, Laha. Great shots from down the road there. Another Green 4 member tries to cross that MSR, gets caught in the open. McCleary's still alive. Marquiti is still there too, by the church, pushing forward. Here comes Berg. It's on a center line. Rush towards the flag. Can he get it? It's relatively open. He might be able to push. Lord is there. Will he be able to see him? Grabs that flag and starts to make a run for it. Will he get away? He's pushing down that center line. No shots so far. Berg is away with the flag and nobody's chasing him. He just might be home free at this point. We have a Hail Mary push by Jericho. He might be caught by Lutha though. Or Laha, excuse me. Liha, excuse me. Berg is just pushing right towards that flag. And here we go. Flag cap number 1 for the Russians. KND.Squad 1-0. Let's take a look at the map from that KND.Squad's perspective. Not much happening for that 88th Company team. Bill is currently pushing forward on that center line. He's facing 2 Russians right in front of him. 1 versus 1, and Frost comes up with the upper hand. KND.Squad still has a very, very good presence in that 88th Company spawn. Marquiti just goes down to a frag right on top of him. But here we go, another push for that KND.Squad team. Berg is right in a great position to offer support. Taking a lot of fire, though. He fires back at Jericho and gets him. Awesome shots for Berg. As the 88th Company tries to stabilize, they have 3 members near this point. TX going to be crossing the road, but goes down to a frag. Wow. These frag placements for both teams have been excellent. Preemptive frags we've seen throughout the game, kind of fragging where you think the enemy will go, and usually it seems like they've been hit. Oh, unfortunately, I think that frag was a friendly fire. Lord and TX friendly firing that frag, so unfortunate for that 88th Company team. The 88th Company on the back foot a little bit as they are down 1-0 to the Russians, the KND.Squad. Ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of a lull in the action here. Be sure to like if you're on the YouTube page. That provides a little bit more exposure to this live stream. Be sure to upvote the thread on Reddit, on the Arma 3 subreddit. And of course, if you're on Twitch, if you like, give me a follow, and I think maybe we'll be doing more of these events soon. We'll see. Bill Garner taking fire on that MSR. Goes down to McCleary. A great push for the KND.Squad once again. Berg is on that point. He goes down to a little bit of a range from Jericho, but it doesn't matter. McCleary right on that flag point, under fire. Grabs the flag and is making a push down that center line once again. Will he be able to get away? Yes, he does. McCleary with the flag. A little bit closer this time for the follow-up. Wow, excellent frag. That was actually quite a ways away. But Shenko coming up big for his team, taking out McCleary. Blue Fort taking out Frost as well. Or excuse me, Frost taking out TX. Engagement between Shenko and Frost, who will come out on top here. Oh, actually, Frost is taken out from a different angle. Good teamwork on his part. Shenko going to be pushing forward down that center line once again. The 88th Company needs to start getting aggressive. You can see the flag point over there. He just returned the flag, meaning it's back at its home base. Marquiti is near that spawn position again, harassing the 88th Company. Seems to be fairly effectively as well. A little bit of a lull in the action. Marquiti's right near that flag, but offering not much in terms of offensive. He's just trying to be essentially a thorn in the KND's side. Shenko is the furthest up for his team. He's going to be coming into close contact with McCleary and gets taken out in that 1v1. We've reached the 21-minute mark. I believe this game will last 30 minutes for game number 1 here. Berg is pushing up with McCleary. And again, ladies and gentlemen, in this matchup, KND.Squad is up 1-0. The scoreboard up top represents game 1. Games 1, and not necessarily flags capped. But KND.Squad up 1-0 so far. Berg coming up close near that flag point again. Bill is going to be under close contact with him. Gets taken out. Let's go on board with Berg. He seems to be one of the VIPs of this matchup. Just taking out opponents left and right. He, of course, scored the flag the first time. As we're on board, he's taking fire. Will he make a push towards that flag? No. Gets taken out through that bunker complex. Wargoat pushing back forward. He's the only team member really here defending the flag, and he goes out. He gets taken out by a Hail Mary frag of some kind. Maybe McCleary threw a great frag. Either way, he's down. There is no defense here. McCleary is in the clear. Will he be able to grab that flag? Yes, he does. Oh, man, the Blue 488 squad not in a position, but McCleary picks the wrong route to go. If he went down the center, he might have been home free, but he decides to juke right from that 88th Company perspective and gets taken out. Up on board with Bill as he moves forward to try to re-secure that flag, and he does. Taking another overhead perspective, we do have one Blue 4 unit. Who is that way up there? Jericho, the most forward for his team. Ends up taking out Berg. Great shots. Red Hammer in the building aside from him. Responds with fire of his own, trying to cross that MSR. He's injured. More fire between the two, and finally gets taken out by Marquiti from, I assume, quite a ways away. Yeah, wow, that was quite a distance from that second story window towards Jericho's position. Shenko moving forward on that flank once again. He seems to have been enjoying this flank. This is the second time we've seen him run this flank. Marquiti is in a great defensive position to be able to stop this if he pokes out the window at the right time. We're on board with Shenko once again as he rounds the corner. You can see Marquiti up towards that second story. Awesome preemptive frags. This is what we're talking about. These players know where their enemy is. Marquiti now knows Frost is coming around the corner as well. We're going to see a close contact possibly between Frost and Shenko. Once again, Frost deciding to take the long way around. In the open, Shenko does engage. Now he's a little bit covered by a little bit of concealment by these bushes. If he keeps pushing forward, Shenko, yeah, there we go. I was going to say, Shenko was going to have a clear line of fire, and he did right at that last second. Of course, this stream is on a 5-minute delay, ladies and gentlemen, so there's no way these players can be cheating or kind of estimating their opponent's position. Shenko moving up to that second story, shots being fired between the two, and he is taken out by Marquiti in that defensive position. This is game number 1 of essentially the first place matchup between the 88th Company Walking Death representing Spain versus the KND.Squad representing Russia. The game is 0-0 in terms of games won. In terms of flags capped in this game, it is 1-0 for KND.Squad. Taking a look at Bill right now. He's pushing forward on the side of this MSR. They believe this is the right flag. Wow. McCleary just comes out right on the corner. You can already see he's already leaning to get little, of his body exposed as possible as he pushes around that corner. McCleary, again, cleans up another Blue 4 unit. Jericho, well, he's moving on the flank, but will he be able to see McCleary? Yes, he is. Right in the open. Great shots by Jericho. It seems like the 88th Company able to mount a little bit of a better defense, but we'll see how effective it is. TX takes out Leha. I'm pronouncing that right? Leha? L-E-H-A? Do my best. On board with Lord, pushing forward. This is moving through his, I guess, generally his spawn area. Moving forward towards that front line. Again, only one Blue 4 unit. Shenko is the farthest forward. Shenko is under fire. He decided to change up his position. But no, he gets taken out. I was going to take an overhead view of his position and just taking a look around. Just green 4 everywhere. One thing that I seem to have been noticing so far is KND's ability to make consolidated pushes. Rather than, it seems like the 88th Company pushing lone guys forward, trying to make flanks work, but generally the KND has been able to shut it down. Just about 4 minutes remaining in this game number 1. KND.Squad up 1-0 in terms of flags capped. Lord looking down, sees McCleary taking long shots, takes some fire of his own. He's going to be pushing into the corner there. I'm not sure if he hit McCleary or not, but Lord is continuing to push forward. This might actually be, if I can get a overhead perspective here, this might actually be the push that 88th Company needs. This is probably the best push they've had so far. Oh, at least 2 of their units moving forward. KND in full defensive mode, however. Let's go on board with McCleary. He's going to be coming in close contact. Right behind him. Great Twitch reaction. But it's not enough. Bill comes out on top. No, they trade. Awesome. Wow. I mean, I guess that in part just displays the skill of these two players. You saw how quickly that player was able to turn and face his opponent. Just heard the steps at the last second. Shenko taking out McCleary. Pushing forward. towards that flag point. Where is it? He's actually behind the lines of the Red 4 right now. Shenko in a position maybe to cap this flag or at least grab it. Doesn't have the support he needs though. He's the only guy here. Yeah, look at that. Berg knows someone's close by, watching that position. Shenko under fire. And wow, yeah, no chance. Berg in an awesome position to kind of deflate that push by Shenko. Shenko goes down. Shenko seems to have been the player that's able to get the furthest forward consistently throughout this matchup. There's a close quarters engagement over here. TX versus Redhammer. Redhammer's just waiting for him and is going to be taking him out as he exits that compound. Great strategy, but unfortunately gets taken out by Jericho. Actually trades with him right outside that compound wall. Wow, here we go. Lord, Shenko, right on the... No, Lord and Bill, excuse me. Right on that flag cap point. Bill is right there. Oh, no. Wow, both players get taken out. One in the MSR in the open, the other one on top of that flag cap point. That was probably the best effort for that 88th Company Walking Death team we've seen so far. 1 minute remains in game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see anything happening in terms of game-changing mechanics from this point. I mean, it's 1-0 for KND.Squad with like 40 seconds remaining of this matchup. All the players from that 88th Company team are respawning. Berg is there to try to cap the flag, which he might be able to do, picking it up and start heading down towards that center line that has been so effective for that KND.Squad team. Is taken out with 20 seconds remaining in this matchup. You can see the consolidated Blue 4 team pushing forward to try to resecure that flag. 10 seconds remain in game number 1, and it will go to game number 2 with KND.Squad in the lead, or KND.Squad, excuse me, in the lead with a 1-0. Well, at least as far as I understand, it's a 30-minute match timer, but perhaps they don't account for the few seconds that occur at the beginning of the game in terms of a warm-up phase. We'll end up having to see. Either way, it seems like we're seeing a little bit of what we saw before. No real consolidated effort for that 88th Company team. I mean, Bill is right there near that flag point, but he is unsupported. There's a bunch of Green 4 respawning. Bill is going to be under fire moving forward. Marquiti behind him. Great reaction time from Bill, able to turn around at that split second. Not good enough. As both teams sound GG, that warm-up phase was taken into consideration. First game goes to KND.Squad, ladies and gentlemen. What an epic first game it was. There was a large degree of back and forth between the two teams, but generally, you know what? We've seen what happens with you know, KND.Squad kind of coming out as a very dominant offensive team. Very impressive performances for both teams as we're, I believe, going to be resetting the server, getting into game number 2 here. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we are streaming both on Twitch and on YouTube. You can watch on either platform. You can find links to both those platforms down in the description, either on the Twitch page or on the YouTube page. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break before the next matchup. Give both these teams a little bit of time to unwind. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed so far. I think we're actually going to give away that Apex expansion key at the end of the next game. We'll perhaps, again, put it up on screen with the last digit as a question mark so you guys can kind of guess which digit it would be. It provides a degree of randomness and maybe a little bit evens the playing field for both teams, or for everybody watching, excuse me. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you like these kinds of content, be sure to like up the video if you're on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. If you're on Twitch, give it a follow. We'd appreciate you following the channel and expanding Arma 3 Esports and Arma 3 the Shoutcast a little bit further than it already is, of course. Bohemia Interactive recently sponsored the Arma 3 Endgame tournament, which myself and one of my, I guess, members of my Arma 3 unit co-members, Stardog, had a chance to commentate and produce that tournament. Very fun. Hopefully there'll be more of that stuff coming in the future, but for now, ESM is the only Arma 3 esports league in existence, and of course they are sponsored by MicOne and ArmaHost.com. KND.Squad up 1-0 going into game number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of that game number 1? Be sure to tweet at me at MicOneJuliet on Twitter, or just use the hashtag Arma3 tag on Twitter. Tweet your thoughts to @Arma3Official or at the ESM official account too. Tell us what you think of these games in any language that you wish. I believe we have a very international audience watching us now, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome from around the world. As we take a quick look at that bracket information once again, we can see that both teams are tied up with 21 points. Both have 7 wins. KND.Squad does have one more loss than 88th Company does, but they played one less game. This game is very important, as it essentially will decide who will be on first place going into the final week of the league. This is the second time these two teams have faced off. The 88th Company won the first game in that series. But this, essentially, with the point totals, will determine probably who will come out with the league's victory. I think it's really interesting to watch this kind of... There we go. I think it's really interesting to see Arma 3 in this kind of capacity. Of course, normally, in terms of myself, and I know a lot of other players that I associate with, we more so play, the tactical realism or the military simulation kind of esque of gameplay, which again was probably my favorite kind of gameplay to play. But the fact that Arma 3 is so versatile in the sense that you can have, the military simulation, you can have your tactical realism guys, you can have your, Arma life guys and your exile guys and your esports guys all together in one game. That kind of versatility is something that I find extremely unique to this game, and more so is the kind of longevity that this community has. As we're loading in a game number 2, KND.Squad on top. We're going to be in the same environment for this one. Bravia, I believe both teams are going to be switching sides. The 88th Company now on that green 4 side with the KND on the blue 4. Going to be changing up the dynamic of the map. Maybe we'll see what difference that makes in terms of the positioning of the flag, the positioning of the spawns, and the kind of buildings around that area. As we enter our warm-up phase for game number 2 of the first place of the battle, for first place between the 88th Company, Walking Death, representing Spain, and KND.Squad, representing Russia. Taking another overview of the map here. And what we saw before is that this general area towards that blue 4 spawn seemed to have been a fairly easy, access point for that green 4 team to kind of push in center-wise, grab that flag, and then extract using this hunter as cover as they push towards this corridor. The other side doesn't really have that same kind of cover. Well, I guess it does, but the major difference is that route of approach, that ingress approach, just has so many, options. So it's so wide open compared to the approach of the other side, which is fairly close quarters and kind of closed off. As both teams push towards that center once again, let's take an overhead perspective. You can see both teams with their call signs above them moving forward in this second match. Lord is the first one to take out McCleary in this game. 88th Company with their first blood pushing forward, and Lord, like I said, using that center route to move forward. He ends up seeing Shenko on the side, gets taken out. Actually takes out each other, so 1 versus 1 on that side ends up with both players going down. Oh, that was Berg, excuse me, not Shenko. Shenko's still moving up for the 88th towards that actual, that blue 4 KND.Squad flag point. Mounting that building we've seen Red Hammer use in the last game, and nope, deciding to continue to move on. And Bill is in a position perhaps to grab the flag, but McCleary is here fresh from his respawn. And look at that, with all those respawns coming in for the blue 4, the KND squad was generally wiped on that initial engagements there. Wow, the 88th Company in a very dominating position moving into the beginning of this game. Bill on that flag point takes out Berg, and he has got the flag, and he is running home with it. Frost might be there to respond, but no. Bill Garner is pushing forward. He is now supported by Lord, who takes out the only possible opposition. It looks like he is home free, moving towards that flag. 88th Company, walking death, taking a quick 1-0 lead in this game. Wow. That's 1-0 in this game for the 88th Company, or 88th Company walking death. Awesome teamwork right there. Maybe it is the kind of closed-off environment by this flag that enables the teams to grab it and go so quickly. But either way, we'll see right now as Red Hammer decides to make a little bit of an offensive push. He's doing the same thing the 88th Company was doing before. He's unsupported. He's here by himself. There's no blue 4 around him. We'll see what he can do by himself, but what we've seen from last game, if that sets a precedent, not much. Decides to evacuate from that position, taking the flank instead. Lord is right here towards that flag cap point. Let's hop on board with him as he grabs the flag. And I can't believe it. Oh, Lord. Whew. He's running in the middle of this MSR, doing some serpentine maneuvering, trying to get inside that house. Doesn't make it, though. He's so close to moving forward. Perhaps just picked the wrong route of approach to kind of egress out of there. Moving down that center line might have been a little bit more effective. But either way, as we can see, this represents the flag, ladies and gentlemen. And it is still, you know, near that MSR, ready for the 88th Company to pick up. Marquiti is there watching it. Let's take a look at what he's looking at. Yeah, he's looking near that flag position. McCleary pushing forward as well. They've got that on lock. I mean, Jericho is the closest unit for that team up, but I can't believe that actually Red Hammer, if he's still up here, is still alive. Red Hammer, of course, has been up here for quite a while. He's the unit we mentioned earlier, talking about being a lone wolf. But he does go down to the fire of Bill Garner. A quick 1-0 lead for the 88th Company, walking death, moving into this the second game here. Battle for center map control will probably be taken or be carried out between Jericho and McCleary. Shots being fired. I'm not sure from where. Lord pushing forward. That might be an actual bad frag though on his part. Oh no, good frag. Wow, close to McCleary. Decides to stay in his building for now. We see Frost taking a wide flank towards that objective. La's doing work on the screen here. On the kill feed, excuse me. Let's go on board with him. He's pushing forward, I assume, towards that objective point. Goes down to Lord, which is right behind him. Red Hammer and Lord facing off. Red Hammer gets the best of it. Now, let's take a look at that objective point again. You can see Red Hammer on your screen. That he's that blue 4 marker just around 100 meters away. McCleary is advancing quickly towards that point as well. TX is in the center there, acting as an anchor point of that 88th Company defense. Marquiti and McCleary, the only two KND members on this point. We might be seeing a house breach fairly soon. Yep, it will be a house breach. McCleary going to be taking over the house of TX Killen, and look at him. He knows that somebody's here. He heard the door open. He's watching for it. McCleary looking out towards that objective, but gets taken out by Lord through the window in an epic glass-shattering engagement. Lord on the defensive near that objective, pushing forward. Of course, he does have support. TX is on that building in front of him. Marquiti, you can see on your screen now, watching through that window of that two-story longhouse to Lord's left. Gonna be trying to cross the street here, but Marquiti takes him out. Marquiti in a very good position to act as a kind of blocking force right now. Watching the stairwell, launches that frag, maybe a little bit too preemptive. Goes off. Bill Garner knows definitely there's somebody there. Marquiti taking a very, very interesting approach, but gets shot. Wow. Wow, I'm not actually sure who killed him. Well, it was Frost. Maybe? No, Frost is on his team. I'm not sure who killed him. Either way, Marquiti goes down on that point, and Bill Garner continues to push forward. Bill, seeing Frost in the open, takes him out. Let's go on first person with him. Looks towards that courtyard. Lots of open ground. You can see McCleary in that second story in the house right above Bill. Gets by without anything, but enters the house. It's going to be a close quarters engagement, ladies and gentlemen, right around this corner. Bill decides it's not worth it, but takes fire right behind him as he tries to exit that complex. Taking a look at a map overview. And we can see that it's generally equal. I mean, both teams have around 3 people near that center line. Kind of in a very, more so defensive position for the 88th Company and more of an offensive position for the KND.Squad. Let's take a look at the kills right now. Lord, Shenko, Jericho on top in terms of kills. Heading back down. Close quarters engagements on this center side. Moving through the streets, Shenko might have an ability to take out Red Hammer as it's a one-on-one. Let's hop on board with Shenko. Ooh, but he takes fire from his flank. Moving back up, Red Hammer, McCleary, defensive positions again near their flag cap point. Lord is fairly close by, not necessarily enough to be threatening so far. Both teams in a little bit of a stagnation, except for, who is this? Jericho making a very, very wide flank right now. Under fire, though. He's looking towards that spawn. He knows somebody's there. He sees Marquiti, takes him out. Great shots. I mean, there's not that many people around this point. He is all alone, though, so Jericho is fairly unsupported in this effort. He is getting closer and closer towards that flag cap point. But look at this. Berg is right there. He's waiting. He's watching. And you can see Bill on the right-hand corner, left-hand corner of your screen just taken out in a quick burst. Will Bill see Jericho? Currently that big blue roof is blocking his vision. But Jericho does get taken out by Red Hammer in the house across the street from him. The blue 4 KND.Squad seems to have been stabilized. Shenko coming out big here. Again, a lonesome push, though. He's all alone moving forward. Great preemptive frag. That goes down to a frag himself. Another quick overview. Blue 4 KND.Squad back on the offensive, pushing forward down through that center line. I believe this might be a replacement for the 88th Company. At least I didn't recognize him before. Gannicus on that center point ends up taking out Laha. Red Hammer right outside and takes out Gannicus with a quick shot. KND.Squad continuing on their offensive. TX is firing through that window just through a little crack. Wasn't quite able to get him, but definitely injured the KND member pushing forward. Let's take another quick overhead view. And wow, I mean, this is a great push so far from that KND.Squad. Marquiti, Frost and McCleary are on that point, pushing forward slowly but steadily. Bill Garnier, Lord, and TX Killen are here to help defend. Very slow on the attack here, kind of making their movements very methodical. Bill Garnier in a position to attack Frost. Wow, Frost with the awesome reaction timing there. Defeats Bill on that 1-in-1 engagement. The push for that KND.Squad team still slowly moving forward. Shots going down, taking out Frost. Marquiti in his patented building once again, providing disruption for his team of the 88th Company members moving forward from their spawn. We'll see if he can get anybody through this window. This is the window he's been peeking, at least for the majority of this game so far. And now direct your attention to the timer. 12 minutes have passed in this matchup. McCleary, taking fire from a ways away, decides to duck out of that open area. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, in this matchup itself, the 88th Company Walking Death are currently up 1 flag cap to nothing. In the whole series, as it stands, KND.Squad has won the first game, bringing them up to 1-0. Lord and McCleary facing off across the streets. And I believe it was, yeah, Lord that takes out McCleary on that point. Up on board with Marquiti. Close contact now. Bill Garnier is starting to push forward as he comes up those stairs. He'll win it. Marquiti, no contest. Bill didn't even get a shot off. Jericho's over there. He might actually try to make another push. We'll see if he decides to frag it out before he does anything, though. That might probably be the best option for him at this point. You can see Marquiti behind that wall actually gets taken out by Lord. So doesn't have to worry about that anymore. Probably he was called out by one of his teammates. Jericho redirecting himself, moving forward on the flank instead. Wow, KND.Squad in a pretty good offensive position right now. Leha, Red Hammer pushing forward together on the flank. Lord is there to help contest it. Let's hop on board with Red Hammer, see what he sees. He's currently under fire, though. You can see Lord in his sights. Will he be able to get him? 1-2 shots away. Not enough. Jericho under fire. Does go down. Marquiti continuing to push forward. He's still got a ways to go before he gets to any kind of any resistance on his part, nearing the church on his side of the map right now. This is another, I guess this is a good time that we can say that it's a good time to push for both teams. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left. The 88th Company, Walking Death, want to really secure their lead, go up 2 flag caps to nothing. And of course, the KND.Squad want to tie it, going 1-1 flag caps. Right now, we see that 88th Company in the offensive position. Lord is taken out by Berg. Shenko is there. He's going to be taking on McCleary. Let's go on board with him. He's getting flanked, though. Red Hammer on one side, another unit on the other. Red Hammer doesn't see him, though. Decides to go the other way. We'll see if they end up seeing each other. He's going to be facing Yannicka soon, though. Oh, come on. Shenko just rounding the corner. Will he see Red Hammer? Yes, he does. And great shots in the back of Red Hammer. Shenko moving forward in a great position. I'm not sure if the other team sees him. McCleary is in a position to defend. If he looks through that window, he does. He knows Shenko's there. Berg is coming from the defensive as well. Shenko is surrounded at this point in that construction site complex. We'll see what he decides to do, and he does get taken out through the fence. McCleary is there in a very good position. That looks like the 88th Company offense really just kind of petered out for now. They're setting up for another push. A lot of the KND.Squad members are just responding, though, coming out of their spawn zone right now. Let's take a look from their perspective at the game so far. McCleary, Schulenberg. on the left and right of your screen right now, facing Gannicus in the center. McCleary takes him out. On the right-hand side of the map, Lord is pushing up, and he's actually supported by Jericho, who's under fire. Marquiti is there, trying to go for the flank. Will he get it? Let's go on board with him. Jericho, when we saw him last, was just to your left. He actually went down, so Marquiti has a great run of approach right now. He'll be coming under contact by Lord fairly soon, but not quite yet, as we have another KND push throughout the, I guess this would be the left-hand side from their perspective. Shenko does take out one. There is 2 units on the flank here for that KND.Squad. Shenko pushing forward, doesn't see the units behind him. Continuing offense for both teams. Let's check out the defensive measures for that Green 4 88th Company team. Red Hammer goes down. They know that they're there now, so that flank has been, you know, pretty well neutralized. Let's go on board with Leha, see what he sees. Oh, yeah, very difficult position if we move into third person here. Takes out Jericho on the run, though, so great shots from him. He kind of evens the odds a little bit. Let's go back into free cam and check out how they're doing on that flank. Not bad, actually. Gannicus is close. I mean, TX is in that building that really just provides great line of sight towards that objective. He's watching it right now, I believe. Or he's watching the outside window. Now he's watching the objective. He knows that somebody's there. Lea's slowly moving forward. Hasn't gotten much farther. He does take out another 88th Company member. Gannicus goes down to the fire of Leha. Lea's under fire. Takes shots. Let's go back in his perspective. He is in a very dangerous position as TX Killer. You can see him on the top right-hand corner of your screen. If he just peeks out of that window, he can take out Layup in a very, very quick burst. It's just my butt. What he's going to do now is we see him moving around. A very good push so far for that KND.Squad, though. Let's go into camera, a free cam, as Frost is right there. Wow! 88th Company has been wiped. This is a great opportunity for KND to even out the game as Frost grabbed that flag. And they are, yeah, they are home free. There's no way, there is no way that 88th Company can really defend this push now. There is a great screen for that KND.Squad. Even reinforcements coming up. Frost in a very good position to carry home the flag to his base, evening up this game number 2. Frost deciding to take a more defensive route. He's taking the long way home, per se, as he nears this flag cap point. And ladies and gentlemen, in the last minute of play of game number 2, it is 1 flag cap to 1 flag cap in game number 2. Wow. What an epic conclusion to game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you know what? It might as well have turned out this way. A quick flag cap at the beginning of the game for the 88th Company, and a quick flag cap at the end of the game for KND.Squad. Now we're gonna have to check the rules, as I believe there's about a minute of play left in this second matchup. But I think ESM has only 2 games in the series, and meaning that the game can end, or the series can end in a draw. But if this game is a draw in itself, then the victory will go to KND.Squad as they won the first game. Frost, Leia pushing forward. Another minute left in the game. Bill Garner is there. Will he be able to take him out? Nope. Decides to push forward down that center line. A few seconds remaining in this matchup. 88 has got to come up with another flag cap, or they are going to lose this series, I do believe. Bill goes down to Frost, and it is not looking good for the 88th. Oh, wow. Granicus just decides to take a dive. Shenko sees him, though. Takes a few shots at Frost. Not effective. Is going to be following him up, chasing him down, and taking him out. As we come into the last 10 seconds of play, ladies and gentlemen, of game number 2. The current flag cap total is 1-1. And I believe that just about rounds up this game. Oh, wait, hold on. Never mind, ladies and gentlemen. I was thinking it was 20 minutes long, when in fact, it was 30. So, think of this as a new lease on life. We have another 10 minutes of matchup to go through. 88th Company may just still have time to even it out and win this game. So, psych, gotcha. We have about 10 minutes left to go. Bill Garner pushing forward again on that center flank, which just is very scary in this open environment. It gets a lot tighter and a lot more cover once you get near the enemy's base. Hopping on board with Lord, very, very close towards that blue for KND.Squad's actual flag cap point. You can see it right now on your screen. Lord taking out Frost, 1 and 2, double kill. This just might open up the opportunity for him to grab that flag. Lejas is on the corner there. Oh man, Lord, epic shots, takes out 3, but it's just not enough and gets taken down on that flag point. This might open up the opportunity for the 88th Company to push forward. It's all up to Shenko. Nope, goes down to McCleary. That attack has fizzled out. Great effort for Lord with that triple kill. Hopping on board with Gannicus as he's going to be pushing out. I believe he does have McCleary looking at the exit of this building, so it's going to be a very interesting engagement right now. Where's he? No, McCleary is not, I don't think, looking at the exit of this building, but he is definitely near him at this point. Looking at his own entrance. Making a quick tactical overview. A little bit of a slow point in this game so far in the 23rd minute mark, just near that. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you like these kinds of content, if you're watching live on YouTube, be sure to hit us with a like, rating, and a subscribe. As well as if you're on Twitch, show your love with a follow. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching so far. It's been an awesome 2 games, and we still got another, 7 minutes to go. The current flag cap total in this game is 1-1 for the 88th Company and KND.Squad. In the series, KND.Squad is up 1-0. I believe that the 88th Company is in a must-win position to kind of maintain the lead in the tournament in this game. Will they be able to do it? It's getting really, really close at this point. McCleary going to be in close contact right now. If I can get to him. There we go. Right around this corner. Whew, sorry, I kind of missed that engagement. My camera freaked out a little bit. Ganniscus does take out McCleary and will continue his offensive for the 88th Company. Taking a look over by that KND.Squad team, very, very defensive. You can see Frost, you can see Leja and Berg in all 3 buildings surrounding that flag point. This might actually be a shift in strategy for that KND.Squad. They might recognize that all they need to come out on top in this series is a draw. If they come out in a draw, that means because they won the game before it, they will win the series. So, I mean, taking a very defensive position, moving into the 24th minute of this game. And wow, this is going to be a very hard line to push through right now. Shenko's going to try it. Berg is right there. We'll see how far he gets. Not far. It's taking lots of fire from both houses. That tree is saving his life, though. He's going to decide to make a push in the open. Taking some pot shots and gets them. Wow. Does go down. I'm not sure what gun that was. It sounded like a some kind of semi-automatic rifle. McCleary does get taken out by Lord. The defensive line holds, though. We see a kind of triangle defense in the center here, consisting of Berg, Frost, and Marquiti. Taking a look at that flag capture point, this is the flag that the 88th Company needs to capture in order to induce a draw in this series. Hopping on board with Lord once again. He's looking forward towards Frost's position. Will he be able to get him? He's up in that second story, so very difficult to fire through those kind of little small slits in the windows. Let's take a look at Frost, see what he's seeing. Yeah, you can see Lord's position over there in the left-hand corner of your screen. Looking back at a freehand or free cam perspective. And the KND.Squad has reestablished their defensive line. We'll see if the 88th Company can break through it again. This is the second major attempt they've made to really push through this defensive line in this kind of, you know, in-depthness from the KND squad. Shenko's going to try to do the same thing he did before. This time he gets further. Will it be enough? I mean, he's right there inside the house. No! Berg decides to peek out onto the balcony and gets Shenko right in front of the building there. I think Berg does get taken out by Jericho, who's covering Shenko. So there's a little gap in the center, of this defensive line. We'll see what they can do. Jericho pushing forward, deciding to take a position on the second story of this house. There is no players in here. I mean, the 88th Company in a pretty good position, actually. I mean, they've taken over that center building. Lord is there to try to make a push for that flag. No, but he realized it is covered. Leia, Red Hammer are right there. Lord decides this is not the way I want to go. He's going to be taking an alternate route. He's going to be healing up and perhaps moving forward again. Jericho on that point, taking a lot of fire inside his building, decides to push back to reload and perhaps to get some first aid. Red Hammer taking fire from a long ways away. And Bill Garner will get him. Let's go on board with him. 88th Company's Bill Garner's taking fire himself right after he takes out Red Hammer. Oh, wow, look at this. The 88th Company poised to really, wow, great position to take out these flags. They're almost in the same positions that the defensive line for the KND squad was just a few minutes ago. Shenko's right here. Berg is kind of watching it, though. Not the right direction, though. Shenko and, who is that? Jericho, the forward most elements for that 88th Company squad. What will they be able to do? Jericho is close. He can see that flag, but can he get it? Leia's in the open. Shots being fired. Great shots for Jericho, taking him out. He's going to try making the push right now, ladies and gentlemen. This might just decide the game. No! Taken out by Berg, coming out from his spawn. Around 2 minutes remaining in this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Shenko is there, gets taken out. Where is the 88th Company? They are a long ways away. Wow, this might end in a draw and a victory for the Russians' KND squad. There is perhaps one good push left in the 88th Company, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to carry it through. It's got to be just like that first flag cap. Get in, get out, get that flag to your base. I'm not sure if they'll be able to do it. There's a very good defensive line for that KND squad. Let's take a look at from their perspective. I mean, Lord is the only real player that is really threatening any kind of KND element right now. Lord pushing up. Let's go on board with him. Around 2 minutes remaining, or less than that, maybe a minute and a half remaining in this second game. Lord doing exactly what he needs to do. Push towards that flag, get in it, and go. He's not down yet. Coming on his flank is a team member to his left. A minute and a half left, ladies and gentlemen. Will he be able to do it? It's going to be very, very close moving forward. Shenko under fire. Oh, man. We got to go into free cam for this. Oh, no. Lord is taken out from his flank, I believe. And there you go. Another 88th Company member. That attack has stalled, has faltered. The KND squad in a great defensive position to carry through with this defense. Jericho is the only member here, the last hope, and he goes down. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, less than 50 seconds remaining in game number 2. Of course, the flag caps are 1-1 for both teams, with the series up 1-0 for KND squad. KND squad in a great defensive position moving forward. Yeah, that just about secures the game, ladies and gentlemen, for KND squad. This will end in a draw in this specific game. And we'll be up 1-0 ultimately for the KND squad in the series. As we're just exiting that extra time, and Berg calls GG for that KND team, and it will be a draw for this game. Well played. I believe this does mean that KND squad will come out with the victory in the series. Again, I believe in ESM matches they play 2 games to decide the series. What great games there were, though, ladies and gentlemen. Very back and forth in this last game. A quick flag cap at basically the 2-minute mark for the 88th Company. At the 19-minute mark, we saw a flag cap for the KND squad. GG's to both teams. KND squad does come out with the win, essentially at a 1-0 victory, considering they won one game and the other game was a draw. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you very, very much for watching these broadcasts. We appreciate you coming out. Again, something like this has never really been tried before, so any feedback you have is very much appreciated. I hope you've enjoyed. Again, if you like this kind of content, be sure to tweet at us on Twitter at MicOne at the ESM official channels, as well as tweet at the @Arma3 official channel. Let them know you like this kind of stuff and you want to see more of it in the future. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like the video and give it and hit that subscribe button to receive future content updates. And of course, if you're watching on Twitch, be sure to follow me on there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before you go, we still have an Arma 3 Apex key to raffle off. An Arma 3 Apex, of course, is that expansion for Arma 3 that will be releasing, I believe, later this year, either Q2 or Q3 of 2016. Stand by as I get that code. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the code up. I'm going to put it up for probably around 5 or 6 minutes. It's going to be all the characters minus the last one. Now, the only caveat to this is I'm not 100% sure if this is a key that can be redeemed on Steam or a key that has to be redeemed on the Bohemia Interactive online store. We're not exactly sure about that. So, I guess it could go either way. You might have to try both options, ladies and gentlemen, but stand by. We're going to be putting that key on screen in just a few seconds. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, there is your key for the Arma 3 Apex expansion. That last question mark is the unknown character. If you guys know, or you're gonna have to try to, find out what character that could be. It could be any alphanumeric variable. This key is retailing, I believe, for like $24 or $29 on the Bohemia Interactive store right now, so a great chance to win it. AMT36-9CXAG RE0D question mark. That last character is unknown. Start hitting it up on Steam. Start hitting it up on the Bohemia Interactive store. We don't know which one it actually activates for. One or the other, for sure. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I'll be leaving the screen on for a little bit longer, just so you guys can, keep trying out that key. But yeah, the last character, that question mark, can be any alphanumeric variable and, redeem it for your Arma 3 expansion key. Very special thanks to Bohemia Interactive for providing this key for this event. Big thanks to ESM, Esports Masters, the only Arma 3 competitive esports league in existence that I know of. And of course, thank you to their sponsors, MicOne and ArmaHosts.com. KND.Squad coming out with the victory in this matchup in a very good position to come out with the first place in the whole league. Of course, one week remains in the Arma 3 ESM A-Series Championship. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to switch this over to our closing kind of sequence. I'm going to keep the code up there just a little longer so you guys can have it on screen a little bit more. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.